What's up guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Howard Marks is one of the greatest investors of all time. His legendary investing memos are read by the great Warren Buffett, and he's the founder of Oaktree Capital, one of the world's greatest investment firms. So in this video, I'm going to reveal my take on Howard Marks' top 3 rules for investing success. But before we dive into that, if you're new around here, why not consider joining the investing family by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on. And if you wish to take things a step further, then feel free to click that first link in the description below. You'll be taken to the Patreon page where you'll be able to find out more about the VIP membership group. This is where I reveal my buy and sell signals. So when I make my moves, you can make your moves, in addition to my entire investing portfolio, including the stocks and the story of how I built that portfolio from just $20,000 to over $200,000. So first link in the description if you want to find out more about that. But with that being said, let's dive in. So rule number 3, understand where we are in the market cycle. Now, Howard Marks is famous for believing everything is governed by cycles. The stock market, credit, real estate, and of course, investor psychology. Now, the stock market is generally governed by fear and greed, where you have pessimism and optimism, and they tend to rotate and change as the market moves through different cycles. Now, when optimism is overly high and overly exuberant, this is when we see a market bubble. This happened during the tech bubble in the late 90s, 2008 financial crisis, and the 2020 market crash just before that happened. And just after that happened, we have a stock market crash. Then there is fear, there's blood on the streets, there's despair. That is actually one of the greatest times to invest. And in the boom-bust stock market cycle, that is when we were in the bust stage. History does not always repeat, however it does rhyme. So just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it will happen again in the future, but generally things tend to follow similar trends. When we tend to see overly optimistic, too much excitement, too much exuberance, too much risk-taking going on in the stock market, that usually happens when we're in a bubble, and then a crash tends to happen. And after, when people are fearful and they're running away from the market, then that is usually when it's a great time to invest. In the words of the great Warren Buffett, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. This brings me on to rule number 2 by the great Howard Marks. Always control your risk and start with that first. So Howard Marks' philosophy is basically, if the stock market goes up, your portfolio will benefit. However, if the stock market goes down, you won't be wiped out completely and you'll still survive. There's an old story about the 6-foot man that drowned in the river that was only 5 feet on average. It doesn't matter if the river's only 5 feet on average, if at one part in the river it's 7 or 8 foot, because then still the 6-foot man is going to drown. So this is what you have to understand in the market. And this brings me neatly onto rule number 1 of the great Howard Marks, and that is understand the probability distribution. So when you're making your investing decisions, understand that there are multiple outcomes. Calculate a best case, calculate a worst case, calculate a likely case, and then use that to judge what you're willing to pay for a stock. Because there are multiple possibilities, including a black swan event. And we saw this in 2020 with the March crash. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you did find some value. If you did, please do big thumbs up and comment your thoughts below. And if you're new around here and you still haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. And if you want to take things a step further, first link in the description below, that'll take you to the Patreon page where you can find out more about the VIP membership group, where you'll gain access to my buy and sell signals. So when I make my moves, you can make your moves, in addition to my entire investment portfolio, the stocks, and the story of how I built that portfolio from just $20,000 to over $200,000. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you did find some value, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Invest safe.